Yeah.
How low did your carbs get, Jordan?
Carbs were, I had carbs with meals 1 through 5. No carbs before bed. 60 grams cream of wheat, and then 3/4 cup of jasmine rice with 3 meals.
Okay.
So just a baby amount of rice.
Yeah.
And then 80 grams cream of wheat with another meal.
Gotcha. That's not terrible.
Yeah. That's
No,
not
that's
terrible.
not terrible at all. Shoot, I wish
Yeah,
I
it's not-
could have. My shit, I be having to go damn near no carbs sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Definitely have gone no.
But
Pretty much.
and your
gone no
fats
carbs.
will go up though, right? Your fats
Yeah. My fats will go up.
helps keep you a little fuller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That look is nuts right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
look for
we're
Texas.
definitely a little tighter in Texas than Tampa.
Yeah, I felt like you go to Texas, I felt like you should have won that, but at the same time, the kid who won it, he looked good too.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
close, man.
it's close, right?
Yeah, when my mom watched me at the Olympia, as soon as I got off stage, she says, "How do they judge all y'all? All y'all look good." I'm like, "You're not a bodybuilder." So it's kind of difficult to know what to look for, you know what I mean? Because, to the untrained eye, we all look good. You know how when we're leading up to a show and everybody's like, "Oh, you're going to win, you're going to win." I always say, man, now you got to wait till you see me on stage next to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because we all look good, but then when you get on stage, that's the real test.
Jordan, what was the feedback from Tyler and Steve on Texas?
Well, Steve wasn't there, but Tyler was there. He said in the past my waist was kind of an issue, like keeping it tight, especially during transitions. He said I did a really good job at that this time around. But mainly my lower lat insertions, he says they need to come out a little bit more. And when I flex my chest, I need more striations in my chest. So I need to do more squeezing, kind of slowing down the reps.
See, ain't that crazy? It be that little simple shit at our level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. More Dorian style training, over branch style.
So one thing I'll say this, the recording here messed up at the beginning. So I don't know how this is going to look chopped up, but it seems to be working now. So I'm just going to do a little synopsis here. So Jordan, originally from Michigan, you moved down to Texas, tried the construction thing, and now you're working security. What was your first initial, you walk into Metroflex for the first time, meet Brian, what was your first initial reaction? Or had you been there before?
My reaction, was that, man, I wish this was my home gym. I hope I can make it my home gym one day.
And
this was in 2021.
Okay.
I was 20 weeks out from Nationals, the show that I turned pro at.
Okay, so that was the first time you were there.
Yes, sir.
And had you made a decision to move there yet, or was it just like?
No, it was just a thought in the back of my head. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You made the right move.
2023 is when I came down here for a week, did the construction thing, and then I stayed with the owner in his house and just kind of shadowed him. And I came back down a couple months later for another week and shadowed him again to see if it was what I wanted to do.
You did the right thing. I've been looking
so
at
it's
Dallas
not like
myself.
I didn't just pick up and move.
Yeah, you definitely, you 100%. I think that gym definitely, not that you didn't have a good mindset going into it, but clearly you being in that atmosphere, brought out the best in you for that national run and you getting that pro card because, man, you've elevated the shit up.
Yeah. I'm looking at Dallas myself. Soon my son graduated high school. I'm trying to get the hell out of Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh though, but
Pittsburgh's nice. It is.
Yeah, I feel like being down there. I was down there last year with Marty and my coach and Sean for a posing clinic at one of the Texas shows, man. And I really enjoyed it. I used to live in Fort Worth, Texas when I was a kid. My dad was in the military. So
Okay.
You know, that was actually my first time being back down there in over 30 years, man. And I loved it. You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely a spot I'm looking forward to moving to if I'm able to make that move when my son graduates high school.
I feel like
I feel like a lot
DFW
of.
and Vegas
Oh, go ahead.
What's that?
are kind of like the meccas of bodybuilding now.
Mm-hmm.
I said I feel
For
like
sure.
DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, and Vegas
Yeah.
are like the mecca of bodybuilding now.
Yep.
It's not California anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Bodybuilding's
it's not.
definitely
I
growing
feel like
in Texas for sure.
there were even somebody was talking about that on a podcast, and like even me and my wife went out to Gold's Gym Venice, and it just
Not the same.
it's not what it was. It's
Since
not
COVID,
what it's
yeah.
ever been. You know,
Social
like, the
media has
changed.
taken over.
It really has. Social media has taken over, and they were saying like, if you really wanted the atmosphere, you needed to go like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning or at 10 o'clock at night, where like the more serious guys train, because they pick those particular times to train because they don't want to deal with all the freaking social media people.
Yeah, man. That's the one thing that me and my coach are getting a little bit frustrated with at our gym. We love the gym. I'll never say anything bad about it. But I mean, it's frustrating when us high-level amateurs, professional bodybuilders are in there. We're trying to keep our tempo. And you see people on machines taking 30 minutes. And it's like, I'm going to go do another exercise and then come back, and then you're still on the same damn equipment. It's like, how many more text messages you got left?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got your tripod set up. And I don't knock anybody who records themselves. I record myself. But you'll rarely catch me on a machine longer than necessary. You know what I'm saying? And I know out in California, they deal with that a lot. You know what I mean? I know in Vegas, they deal with that a lot too. When I was training at Dragon's Lair and I was talking to Flex, you know, that it's kind of getting out of hand. You know, so these hardcore gyms are the best places for us because most people don't want to go there because it don't look appealing.
Yeah.
Most of those clips that Mike just showed, man, you're showing like Branch Warren-esque like intensity, man. That's
100%. Thank you.
Wow. So
I love training more than that's my favorite part about bodybuilding is the training.
Yeah.
100%. Jordan, how old are you?
36.
Okay.
Baby.
So 36. I see you slanging and banging with these weights. Like, has your training changed at all with age? Like, have you felt like, or are you still able to just like go in there, move the weight, and not be like, I'm slightly nervous about this or this? Is it still just like going in there and ripping?
It's still going in there ripping, pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not lifting quite as heavy as I was like 2020, 2021. I was like 260 pounds. Like I was deadlifting 700 for 4 reps.
Ooh.
Shoulder pressing 365, not on the Smith machine, like free weight for 5-6 reps. Like I was lifting really heavy. I'm not lifting quite that.
How tall are you?
I'm just under 5'7".
Okay. Yeah, so we're about the same height. You got up to 260? Bro, when I get to 235,
I was miserable.
I feel, when I get to 235, I feel miserable. So I can't imagine 260.
Yeah, I had to sleep in a recliner. I couldn't lay flat in a bed. I don't want to get to that again unless I'm like a little leaner at 260. So like I got to make a decision after this year if I want to stay 212 or go open. So
because when you're pushing like you do, you just outgrow the class. That's what I said. I'll stay in the 212 until I outgrow it. Once it's too tough for me to make that weight.
Yeah. Tyler said to stay 212 even next year and just refine my physique.
And that's the hard part, right? Because I notice whenever guys suck down too much, like Jewett and Derek, they lose their legs. I don't want to lose my legs. You know what I'm saying? So
Jewett.
Yeah. What was your weight in Tampa and Texas?
Tampa was 212 on the money, and I weighed in at, and Texas was 210.6.
Yeah, so
is it hard for you to hit that? Is it hard for you to hit that 212 mark? Like, do you feel like to get down there, you're suffering pretty hard?
Kind of, yeah. The last couple days, yeah.
With your mind, like, do you feel like, like, do you want to go open, or would you like to stay 212?
I'd like to see what I look like 221, 222.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You can win. See, that's the one thing that I'm noticing.
Tony
can win.
O'Burton. Tony O'Burton's 219.
It's happening right now. It's happening with all these guys. Hottie, Derek.
Derek said he was 233 when he won the Olympics.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now, granted, when you go up against a mass monster, it's just going to come down to what the judges want, right? Because when you're standing next to an Andrew Jack, a fucking Samson, when you're standing next to them big motherfuckers, you just got to just hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to be 280, 260 to win in the open. We've even seen Sean do it. Sean beat Regan in last year at the Legion. Or was that 2 years ago at the Legion? So that's why, and it's, I have to have a conversation with Tyler and stuff like that. I said, I'll stay in the 212, but once I grow, I'll compete in the 220s in the open. There's way more shows too. The 212, we're limited. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and of course the prize money is much more.
Yeah, that's true.
Too. You know what I'm saying? So if I didn't win my pro card in 2020, there was no way I was going to stand in light heavyweight that following year. It was too hard for me to get to 198. Like literally, what I had to do to get to 198, I was like, I ain't doing that shit next year. So if I don't get my pro card, I'm moving up to the heavyweight. And that's why I never tried classic as a pro, because there's no way I could get down to under 200 pounds. It's not happening.
Mm-hmm. So how is the Olympia prep going right now? And what's the mindset right now? Is it no pressure? Do you feel pressure?
No pressure. I don't know what to expect. Just
yeah.
Going in, having fun. I mean, training my ass off.
Yes, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Trying to embrace it every day, every week.
Yeah.
Because I know sooner it's going to be here, and then it's
Yep. It goes fast.
It's that living in the moment concept, right? Like, which is hard to do. It's hard to live in the moment. I don't care if you're stepping on stage. I don't care if you're just going through your regular training session. It's hard to not look forward to the next piece and appreciate the now. I feel like that's one of the harder pieces to understand in bodybuilding.
I'm a fan of the sport. So I just was enjoying meeting everybody I'm fans of and just wanting to shake their hand and meet them and just, you know what I mean? Like I still was going in there ready to do the best that I could. I wasn't expecting, I would have been cool with second call outs. You know what I mean? Like at that stage, whatever I got, I was cool with, because I know that I still needed time to grow and continue to get better. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely wanted to make sure I was enjoying myself, because the Olympia is something that, like, I may never get to do it again. I hope that I do, but at the same time, I do understand how difficult it is to get there. You know, some people, I don't think that they realize that. They look at the people that go every year and they think that it's like that for everybody. I'm like, it ain't like that for everybody. Some people don't go every year. You know, you got to fight, claw, and scratch every year to get there. So,
they got rid of the point system too, so you have to win a show.
Yep.
And I'm glad. Like last year, they had like 29 or 30 guys. Like that was too many guys at the Olympia.
It's just like classic. They ended up having like 60 guys. Like, how can you even say that you're giving everyone a fair shake at the Olympia when there's 60 guys you got to look at? There's no way you can manage that right.
No.
You get 20 guys. 20.
So I feel like, if you get 15 to 20 guys, you're in the realm of like, now everyone gets a fair look, everyone gets their fair time on stage, and everyone's judged accordingly.
Yeah, the best of the best.
Yeah.
So I've had this conversation. Me and Brendan kind of had this conversation. Me and Trey have kind of had this conversation. Like personal timelines, right? In bodybuilding, we all have our personal timelines. We have how long we want to compete, our goals in them, how important each of those are personally to us, because, somebody might put more emphasis on one than the other. Talk a little bit about like your timeline for the rest of your foreseeable bodybuilding career. Is it what are your goals? What are your focuses? How much emphasis do you put into bodybuilding
when I turned pro, when I turned pro, I kind of had said to myself, if I don't get to the Olympia by like 40, I'll probably just stop competing. I got there 36 now.
Yeah.
I hope to have a good maybe 5 or 6 years left of competing, like 41, 42, and then maybe by then maybe be done with competing.
Yep.
So I'd be happy with another 5 years.
You know what the funny thing is? You still haven't even reached your muscle. My first bodybuilding competition
I hope,
at 31,
I hope
and
so.
I remember thinking I'm telling you, trust me, because I remember Ronnie Coleman saying he felt his strongest when he was like 38, 39. You know what I'm saying? And Victor had conversations with Jay Cutler. They both told me that a lot of bodybuilders don't even reach their muscular peaks until they're in their late 30s, early 40s. And then depending on how good you take care of your body, if your body's not breaking down, you can even push further. Sean Roden won his Olympia at 47. You know what I mean? So
that's good news. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, listen, trust me, because for me, I'm 40, and I tell myself I want to compete till I'm no longer having fun. Whatever age that is,
kind of when you feel like you're and you're not improving. If you're not improving,
yes,
Like Dexter went to what, 51?
Yeah, right. And Kamal did the Olympia with me at 50. You should have seen this motherfucker backstage. I was like, God damn, how the fuck do you look like that at 50? If I look like that at 50, my wife ain't letting me go nowhere. She's not letting me go nowhere.
So like me and Trey were talking about, like, I think me and him are a little similar with this thought process that, like, we both absolutely love bodybuilding. Like, don't get me wrong, especially right now after just turning pro, like that is my focus. But I'm also like I guess, I don't know how you say it, like a balanced guy, right? Like, so I have my other pieces of life that sometimes take precedence over it. Like, how do you feel about that? Are you an all-in like bodybuilding? Because I know you have kids, right? And or are you an all-in, or are you like, when I need my breaks, I take my breaks?
I mean, I have to be a supportive father and a supportive husband.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm all in with bodybuilding, though. Yeah. Like taking breaks, like you mean like take a week off from the gym, or?
I guess more breaks, like, like if the family wants to go on vacation and it's like, because I think there are probably some guys out there that might put that type of stuff on the back burner. I mean, I'm not talking guys.
Yeah.
As long as it's like not less than 8 weeks out from a show, then I've gone on vacation before.
Is there a certain time you like
structure things accordingly?
Basically, like, is there a certain time you train around to like structure your day so you get more time with your kids and family?
I train. Usually, I'll have 2 meals and then I'll train.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like to train around 11:30.
Gotcha. Are your kids, like, I'm guessing right now, how old are your kids?
5 and 3.
Okay, so not yet school, really.
Those are the best years, brother.
This week.
Those are the best years. Enjoy them, because when they turn teenagers, they get on your fucking nerves.
I bet they do. I got 2
Jordan,
girls too.
Oh, I was about to say you got boys or girls. Okay.
Girls, yeah. Gonna have my hands full.
Yeah, buddy. Sure. But you're a jacked ass dad, so you ain't gonna have to worry about nothing.
Right.
It's like that. It's like that scene in Bad Boys 2. You remember when Martin Lawrence's daughter's having like her prom date or whatever?
Yeah.
And he comes to the door, and then Will Smith
comes to the door. Reggie. And then she ends up marrying Reggie in the long run.
Yeah.
And Reggie's a badass too. If you didn't see the last movie,
he's a Marine.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he's a Marine.
He's a badass.
You know what? I just saw the Deadpool Wolverine. I don't know if any of you have seen it.
Yeah, I saw it too. Yeah, I seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
I won't spoil anything for you, but you definitely should see it. It was really
funny.
Good.
I love it. Yeah, I'm a fan of Deadpool.
Yeah, it was good. All right, Jordan, I have a interesting question for you, because the conversations that me and Jordan usually have don't revolve around bodybuilding. They usually revolve around like 90s basketball, early
Yeah.
2000s basketball.
The Pistons, yeah.
I know Trey has a lot of jerseys.
Dude, I got hella jerseys in my closet.
Do you? All right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're all jersey collectors. Good.
Yeah. I probably got like 30 or 50.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right. The first one is, what do you think the best white duo in NBA history is?
Ooh.
That's a tough one, huh?
NBA
Duo,
history.
I mean, it's probably McHale and Bird.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Probably
That's
McHale
what
and
I was saying.
Bird.
McHale and Bird.
Yeah,
Stockton and Hornacek were pretty good too.
Stockton, Hornacek. I said Kidd and Nowitzki. That was a tough combo.
Not Nash and Nowitzki?
Sorry, Nash and Nowitzki.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
That's actually
Yeah,
a good call.
And then I had
Kid was a little bit older when he got to Dallas.
And
When
then
he
I
went
had
back to Dallas because he was originally drafted by Dallas in '94.
Jason Williams and Vlade Divac.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
That's a
Vlade-
tough one, man.
Yeah, Jason Williams was one of my favorites. I actually got to see him live one time. He came to Pittsburgh. We had a summer tournament years ago. It was a Connie Hawkins League, and Connie Hawkins was a real famous basketball player. And I remember people didn't know who the hell he was. Oh my God. The stuff he was doing to people on this court was insane. Like it's like the ball's a part of his body.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's still killing people in like men's leagues and these like open runs and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I still see him playing really, really well.
Do any of
yeah,
y'all watch NBA now? Like at all?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do.
I
not
watched
the
it
same.
because I live in Dallas, and Dallas went to the finals.
Yeah, the Mavericks.
But otherwise, I have a hard time paying attention to it.
Same, I don't either, man.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It ain't like it was.
After like
I watch the NBA in the playoffs more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like after the guys I grew up watching, like Garnett, Kobe, Duncan, Nowitzki, once they retired around like 17, 18, I just lost interest. I don't really know anybody that plays in the league anymore.
Yeah.
Once those guys retired.
The style of basketball changed too. I think that was
Yeah.
a big thing for me. The 3-point culture and the super teams kind of just
Yeah.
I was
like
really
football.
into
Yeah, like
I feel
look at yours. Oh, go ahead.
I just was saying, like, it's like football is a gladiator sport, and they're taking the gladiator out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that was one of the last barbaric, besides fighting, sports that we have. You know what I mean? And it's becoming flag, if you ask me.
Either that or whoever's got the most money,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like I know Jokic. Jokic is, he's a great center, but like other than that, like you don't have your guys like Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon, dominant centers.
And all these bigger guys are like the bigger they are, I feel like the softer they are.
Yeah, and they're going out to three-point line shooting threes. They're not posting up.
Exactly. It's positionless basketball. Everybody does the same thing instead of having guards, forwards, centers.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different for sure.
Yeah.
All right. My next question revolves around basketball too, and I think this one will be a tough one for you.
Okay.
We have a 7-game series against the Bad Boy Pistons versus the 04 Pistons.
Oh yeah.
Who you got winning that 7-game series?
Well, what rules do you have? Do you have the bad boy rules?
Yeah.
Or do you have the two?
I think we'll play.
If you play the bad boy rules, I would probably go with
Bad
bad
boys.
boys on that.
You think
Bad
so?
boys all day.
I mean, Rashid and Ben
physical
Wallace
days.
were some.
Either
Rashid would get thrown out.
either way,
for
I'm
fighting.
probably gonna pick the 89 Pistons. Either way.
Okay.
I would say 89 over 90 because 89 they had Rick Mahorn and he left.
Yep.
He left after that year. Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna go 04 because
Okay.
that's my team.
Yeah.
Dude.
That Ben Wallace, that Rashid, the Chauncey, Tayshaun, that squad was
Corliss Williamson off the bench.
Yeah, when they beat the
Corliss
Lakers,
off the bench. Yeah.
when they beat the Lakers, I wasn't even shocked. That defense was just, remember that year the Lakers had Gary Payton, Karl Malone, all them people was trying to get their rings, and they thought they was going to get it.
I thought for sure the
Yeah.
Lakers were going to get it.
I
For
did
sure.
too. I'm like, they were stacked. I mean, you had fucking Gary Payton and Kobe Bryant. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep. That was
Seriously, yeah.
That
Isn't
was the team
Chauncey an assistant coach for the Celtics now too?
Chauncey.
I think
Portland.
Yeah, Portland.
Chauncey,
Yeah, I think
Portland,
it's Portland. Mm-hmm.
But he was a Celtic at one point. I don't know how we let that go. We won't get into that. We had Kobe at one point too, but that's
See, at least y'all got basketball. See, at least y'all got basketball in y'all city. Pittsburgh, we don't have no basketball team. So I've always had players. You know what I'm saying? Like my favorite players, obviously.
Yeah, that's
Michael
actually
Jordan.
surprising.
After Michael Jordan was Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, I was a huge Allen Iverson fan. That was my favorite.
Do you root for the 76ers?
No, hell no.
Oh,
I only rooted for Allen Iverson. I don't root for no Philly team being from Pittsburgh. But Allen Iverson was my favorite player. Then after Allen Iverson was LeBron. And it's the same thing. I hate fucking Cleveland. But that's the closest team. And I got an opportunity to watch him play in high school. I just couldn't believe how fucking good he was in high school. I never thought that the kid
early 2000s, like Kobe, Iverson, McGrady, and Vince Carter. Oh, man.
Yeah, McGrady. Oh my God, if McGrady didn't get
they were
hurt,
so cold.
He was 6'9" and could do every fucking thing.
Yeah.
And to think at one point Toronto had both of them.
Oh yeah, they're cousins.
Yeah,
right.
Cousins. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Like, what the fuck was Toronto thinking?
I don't think McGrady blocked until post.
Yeah. I mean, think about Oklahoma City too. They had Kevin Durant, James Harden, and fucking Russell Westbrook.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Well, like Toronto had Vince and Tracy. If they would have stayed together a couple more years, and they drafted Chris Bosh too, so that would have been a good squad.
Yes, it
would have been a very good squad. Very good squad. Man, everybody.
Yeah, I was a Vince Carter fan too. I used to love to watch him dunk the basketball.
Oh, Vince, yeah. That 2000 All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest dunker of all time.
Yeah,
we got football ramping up now. I was actually watching preseason yesterday.
Go Steelers.
Vince and Dominique, man. Vince and Dominique. It's like
Vince Dominique Wilkins was definitely a beast.
Yep. Yeah, I was watching preseason football yesterday, which I never do because I tell myself if I start watching preseason, I'll burn myself out for regular season.
Yeah, and preseason don't really count.
Yeah,
it don't count, but I'll still sit there for a whole afternoon and watch games.
Oh yeah, I'll watch. You know what I mean? Because I want to see the new players.
Yeah.
What kind of new players we got? And of course, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So I was disappointed in my Steelers yesterday. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do with this quarterback situation, but hopefully it works itself out.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not used to being in other than Nationals in 2021. Like I'm not used to being in prep in the fall. So it's like kind of weird. Like I can't watch football and have pizza.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's a downfall.
I know that feeling.
Or some wings,
Yeah, that's definitely a big downfall.
Yeah,
for sure.
But October,
you'll be good. It's halfway through October. Yeah,
it's October 11th, so I still have the end of October and all of November.
Yeah,
that's it. You're good. Do any of you play fantasy? And you play in fantasy leagues?
Yeah, I do fantasy. I do 3 fantasy leagues.
Okay.
I say no.
No. Trey, you play fantasy?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we usually have a work league, and then I have another buddy I'm in his league, so I just do those two.
Are they big money leagues? Big money leagues?
We all put in. I think this one we're putting in 60 this year. In the winter, there's 12 of us, so the winner gets all. And then the one at work is just for fun.
Yep. Yeah, I play in one, and it gets pretty competitive. A lot of shit talking.
Yeah.
We shall see. Drafts coming up here.
Yeah, I think we're drafting next weekend.
Yep. Yeah, that's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Well,
so
maybe we
Jordan, is that your go-to cheat meal? Wings and pizza?
It's usually burger and fry or pizza. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. My stomach feels better with the burger and fry than the pizza.
How long have you been working with? How long you been working with Andrew?
2020. My first year. Prior to that, I was with Matt Porter. RIP Matt Porter.
How?
You made the national run with Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
How many years have you been competing, Jordan? Because I know I think my first show I did was in 2016, and then me and Michael did North Americans in 19. But I knew you were the guy, like you were doing. I felt like a national show like every year, like when I was coming up. So you were one of the guys I look up to. Obviously, I look up to you now too. But then I was like, oh man, Jordan's gonna be at this one. I feel like he's gonna get it. You didn't get it until 21. Were there like first off, how long have you been competing? Like, when was your first national show? And how many shows did you do up until 21 when you got it? And did you ever feel like, man, am I ever going to get this? Or, anything like that?
Yeah, 2012 was my first year competing. And I did junior nationals in 2013 to kind of get my feet wet. I feel like that's what everyone used to do back in the day before they did nationals. They did the junior nationals or junior USA. Now
that's how it should still be. Yeah, it should still be that way.
I mean, Sean Ray did that. Kevin LeBron did that. Like nowadays, everyone just goes right to nationals.
Yeah.
See if they can get the pro card, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, but and then I did North Americans in 2014. My first pro qualifier, I didn't know what to expect. 39 guys in the class, and I took second. I lost to Tristan Escalastico.
So that was 2014.
2014.
So you were one spot away from a pro card in 2014.
And my first
pro
qualifier, yeah, I was on cloud 9.
And didn't get it till
light
7
heavy.
Later.
Light heavy, okay.
And didn't get it till 7 years later.
That's insane. Like that should just obviously that's props to you for sure, but like that should tell the younger guys too, like, man, like don't just quit because you have some things to get through, like barriers and everything, and man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I could have, a couple years later, I could have gave up and just retired and said screw this, but I love bodybuilding, man.
Yeah,
a lot of people do, and it's so dope to hear that, man, because people will see myself, right? I was fortunate enough to win my pro card in my first show, but I tell people that shit's not normal for everybody. Like, a lot of people got to go through multiple times, and we live in a generation now where everybody wants that instant gratification. Everybody thinks they're going to win their first show. Everybody thinks they're going to win at their first national just because they see other people do it. And I'm like, that's just not realistic. And then they get so down on themselves when they don't win. You know what I mean? Like, you ever see people make excuses, writing long-ass paragraphs and shit? And it's like, look, bro, this is bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people, too, like, get in their head, like, mentally, and they're just like, they don't want to get on stage until they think they're ready. But, like, really, we're never going to think we're ready, You just got to – I mean, even now, like, I feel like I could be better. But could I win a national show? I feel like I could. But, I still, like, I would like to do nationals this year. I think my coach wants me to do USAs. I feel like I could go pro at nationals, but we never feel like we're like complete. We're always going to be like, oh, there's something we could do a little bit better.
You should do nationals. It's here in Dallas, man. I can come watch you.
Dude, I want to, man. I don't think Blue wants me to. I think he wants me to do USAs. Okay. So I'm probably just going to keep growing up. I was actually like 300 on the dot fasted this morning. So I feel pretty good. I'm not like terribly like fat. So
yeah,
I like where we're at. And I think Blue likes the progress we've made because I had hernia surgery in February. And so I don't think he wants to kind of derail the progress with the prep, which I can understand, but I feel pretty good right now, like in a good space where I feel like I can win. But we're always going to think, man, my back is my weakest point. So I'm always like, man, I got to get my back better. If I get my back better, I feel like I could win any national show.
What you mean if?
Man. Like, your waist is like small for.
And what you mean if?
300 pounds.
And what you mean if? What you mean if you get your? Yeah, there we go.
I'm not a cocky guy, man. I've always been, very realistic with everything. I know there's some guys. Obviously, I know I'm not any great bodybuilder at all. I feel like I'm decent, but there's guys better than me out there. So anybody can show up and win. I just know that, I want to be my best when I show up.
Yeah, it's good to be humble. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I remember Keon said that to me. Keon was like, dude, he's like, I know you humble, but you are a great bodybuilder. You're one of the top amateur bodybuilders. Own that. And it's people who are real competitors like all of us on here, we know you not downing anybody by speaking positive affirmations about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I see your pictures. You train like a 300 pounds, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people can't do the things that you do. A lot of people can't do the things that Jordan does. A lot of people can't do the things that we do, man. So own that. You know what I mean? And it's definitely good to be humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm humble too, because life humbled me. But at the same time, I do feel like I'm a great bodybuilder and I want to become better. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shit, everybody on this podcast is a great bodybuilder. You know what I mean? And it's a great feeling to be able to have conversations like this with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect everybody's craft. To hear that, Jordan, how many national shows did you do?
I was about to come back to that. So
yeah, 14, and you didn't give up. Like, you was like, fuck that, I'm gonna get this fucking pro card.
So
not everybody got that mentality. Not everybody has that mentality. You know, some people, I hear some people blame judges. Oh, the judges don't like me. The judges don't fucking know you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's like they don't fucking know you.
You have to
see
show
so many. They see so many guys all year long. You know, they don't know you.
No, and
the more they
see you,
the more they know you.
Facts. And the more they see you and they see you progressing, the more they know you. You know what I mean?
They want to see. Like, that's what they want to see.
I remember that guy. Yeah.
So Jordan, 2015, you got second. So did you do 2015 national show?
That's what we did. We dieted for another 10 weeks for nationals in 2014. And we ended up, I went from going 191 as a light heavy, and for nationals, I was 176 as a middleweight. I lost my fullness. Yeah.
10 weeks later?
Yeah. Lost 15 pounds, dude.
So just overdieted, you think?
I looked really, really flat. I still got a first call out. I ended up taking 7th at nationals. I was freaking like super peeled, but I was flat and like no fullness.
Mm-hmm.
So I look completely different from the North Americans.
So 2014, you got 2nd and 7th.
Yep, and then I did North Americans in 15, and I took 3rd.
3rd.
Yep.
All right. What about 16?
2016, I did USA's, and I took 4th. Actually, I beat Nick Walker at that show. And then my worst showing ever, I actually got a second call at North Americans 6 weeks later in 2016. I ended up taking 15th.
So your headspace there?
Yeah, at first I was like, I wouldn't say depressed, but I was like pretty upset and pretty sad. And I looked at the pictures. I was like, yeah, I do kind of look like crap. My tan was shitty. My glutes were like kind of in, but nothing was popping. Like, I was really flat. And I was like, yeah, I definitely deserve that placing. And then I was like the next day I was like, screw this. We're done with light heavyweight. We're going to be a heavyweight next year. So I was 197, and then I did nationals the following year. I was 215, and that's when I went with Matt Porter.
Okay.
That was 2019. You got what place did you get there?
No, that was 17, the year after the 2016.
So you jumped from 197 to 215
nationals. I took I took 7th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you jumped from 197 to 215.
Yeah.
That's
so my first time as a heavyweight. I mean, I was a legit heavyweight. Nick beat me there. He took 6th. I took 7th.
All right. Anything in 18?
2018, I did North Americans and I took 6th. And then 2 weeks later, I did the Amateur Olympia and I took 3rd. 2019, I took off because my wife had a baby. It was our first baby.
Gotcha.
So that was the 1 year I completely took off. And then 2020, 2nd at North Americans, Martin beat me. And then 2021, 2nd at Nationals, Justin Shire beat me. The top 2 got pro cards at Nationals.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's 10. So you did 10 national shows.
10.
You got your card.
10 shows. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, I think that's more shows than I've done like in my whole life.
Right.
So what advice would you give a younger amateur bodybuilder that has basically at this point been experiencing some things that you have? Because I love to hear this because it puts things in perspective for me, right? Because the Atlanta Pro was my 11th bodybuilding competition. It's the 11th show I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? And to see your consistency and to see your to be as diligent as you was in this process, and to know how mentally hard this is. I to get a second place, I always say second place either ruins you or it makes you, right? Because you either let it crush you, or you're like, oh, I'm coming back and I'm killing every fucking thing next time. You know what I'm saying? So like,
that's the mindset right there.
What advice would you have for? Because I know there's some young bodybuilders out there, men and women, that are going to be listening to that, and a lot of people will quit after their second national. Like, oh, maybe this just isn't for me. What advice would you give to them?
I mean, you got to love it to keep going. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I feel like a lot of the younger guys and girls that, you know, will inquire about coaching or ask questions, you know, like one of the first things I always hear is like, I want to get my pro card. I'm trying to get my pro card. And I feel like because of social media, we do see all these superstars that have these quick rises, and that's become the norm, right? It's not the norm, like we said earlier.
Nope.
Like, let's focus on getting first call out to the local show. Then let's work on winning a regional show. You know, like
that's what my coach did with me.
Yeah, like that's great that you want to be a pro. Like that might be your macro goal, right? But like these micro goals, like let's make them more reasonable and make that the focus.
Steps. Yeah, there's steps to get there, to get to the top. These little baby steps.
Yeah, there's.
Like, I get that, like bodybuilding and then the NPC and the IFBB, it's like it's an industry, like it's a money-based industry too. Like, but I feel like in any class, whether it's female or male, like my personal opinion is I think they need to strip that second place finish to like be able to go to nationals. I feel like you should win your class in order to qualify for an event like that. But like I said, I know it's a money grab. I know they're just, it is what it is. It's a business. You're trying to make the money, but some of the quality that is showing up at nationals, even like me and Mike saw it too, like even backstage at Universe, like they weren't even in shape that should have been.
And they don't understand that level.
Right.
Some of the coaches unfortunately don't either, right? Because if you're a new coach and your kid wins a show, you automatically think like, oh, let's go to nationals, not really understanding what you're going to be up against when you get at a national show.
Totally agree with that.
It's to explain that to people. Like, I was thankful that my coach flat out told me when I started working with him is we got to dominate this local circuit first. And my first goal in bodybuilding,
I agree,
just look like I belong on stage. I wanted to look like I belong there with the bodybuilders, right? My first goal wasn't trying to turn pro. It was look like you belong on stage. And then I was thankful that I had a coach that understood that system. My first show was the Pittsburgh because it was the only show I ever knew about. And I did my first 2 shows with no coach because I didn't even know you needed a coach to fucking do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I got with him, he explained that process that you guys just talked about. First, we got to dominate this local circuit. If we're not winning these small shows, we're not doing no big regional shows. And if we're not dominating the regional, we're not going to go do no national. You're not going to waste your time. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's changed too. Like the NPC in Alabama, when I was first competing, there were only like 3 shows you could do throughout the whole year that were qualifiers. And now I think there's probably 8 or 10 shows in Alabama. Every one of them are a qualifier,
Yeah, it's nuts.
And I think also regardless of like whether it's first or second, or now I think it's like the top 5 can get qualified or whatever. Like even the guys that win the whole show, I mean, they're still not ready for that level yet.
You think about it, like, I turned pro, placed in second. I feel like you should have to win your weight class to turn pro. So like, I wouldn't have even been a pro. I would have had to keep going and doing another national level show.
Yep.
Yeah, because
it's like I don't really know what it's like to win, and then I do my 3rd pro show and I win. I'm like, wow,
you earned it. Don't that shit feel great
at a pro show too,
dude? Like,
because I never took first at a
Was that your
Yeah,
first win? That wasn't your first win, was it, Jordan? You won a local show, I'm sure, right?
I won two local shows, back in
Okay.
Michigan.
See, we're on the same level.
I don't know
I've
what it's
only
like to win a pro qualifier. I didn't win a pro qualifier. I took second.
I feel like Jordan. I feel like you and
awesome.
Nate. I feel like you and Nate Spear have the exact same story.
Yeah,
because like,
that's incredible.
Because I feel
That's
like you guys just
incredible.
completely ran into buzzsaw after buzzsaw after buzzsaw every year at nationals.
He was taking second, third all the time, like me.
Right, and the thing is like you went up against Justin Shire, you finished second. He went up against Carlos, he finished second. Like,
yeah,
both you guys are putting the work in, and like you're making your name freaking well known in that pro circuit right now. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because like I feel like if I would have turned pro in 2014, I felt like it would have happened. It would have came easy, and I feel like it's more rewarding that it took me 9 years versus getting it back in 2014.
And that's why we always say that instant gratification shit is not good. It's not good to win early.
So I'm kind of glad it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's
why I don't get discouraged when I don't win, because it's like a lot of things got to go right. A lot of things got to align right to win. There's only one winner at a bodybuilding show. There's one. So to hear your story, I have that much more respect for you, because I know how easy it could have been to just quit, to just be like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me, right? Then you. And you're not even old, like in the sport of bodybuilding.
Dang.
6 years old, man. Like, you still got a lot left in you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to just be. I didn't know all of that about you, so now, I mean, I just have that much more respect for you that you thugged it out that long.
Yeah,
and you
that's
got
why I want to hit on that, because that's why I like Jordan so much. Because when I was coming up, Jordan was a national show every year, and just battling it out. And I knew you were always close, but you had never won. And it's just cool. I mean, in your mind, like, did you ever think you would be here, like, going to the O now?
No.
Yeah.
I had hoped it would happen, but like always, God's timing, man. I wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't my time to turn pro.
That's awesome, dude. I got nothing but love and respect for you, man.
That's an interesting point, because like I'd like to look back and I'm like, man, like it would have been cool to turn pro, and like obviously I wasn't ready, but like let's say like I was, I'm like, it would have been cool to turn pro in 2019. But now I'm at this place where I'm much more mentally, physically mature. I don't think I would have been successful at that age, because I'm moving, I'm acting, I'm doing like a pro now. And at that point, I was missing steps, right? Like, I'd eat 5 good meals and then I'd eat a shit meal, or, I wouldn't hit my off-season cardio, or, I'd go on a vacation and just not, like I wasn't nailing all those things. Because once you're a pro, right, you got to move like a pro. It's not just the title. I mean,
you check all the boxes.
If you want to be competitive, sure, you can just win the title and fuck off and go sit there and say, I got my pro card. It's up there on the wall. But like, if you want to do something with it, you gotta move like the professionals, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't ready for that at that time, where I am now.
I think social media kind of skews that too, because, like I said, when I was coming up, we had Dallas McCarver and all these guys that are my age or were my age, they were, he was big when I was like 20, and, I'm looking at him and I'm like, dang, he's 20 years old. And here I am looking like I'll look at 20, and was nowhere close to that. Like, you're like, what the heck? Like, why is he so much better than me? And it's like genetics. And
another guy that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say another guy. I felt like these two would have been battling, like Phil and Kai, McCarver and Justin Compton. I felt like they would have been battling if they stayed.
I always feel like Compton would have been up there too. And those guys were there when I was coming up, and I'm like, man, why don't I look like that? And now hindsight's 20/20, but it's just crazy because you see that and you're like, man, that's where I think I need to be, and we're not there. So then you're just more down on yourself. But you just got to run your race.
For sure, timelines aren't the same for everybody, and perspective changes, right? Like perspective changes as we get older. We see we look back and we say, oh shit, that like I wasn't even close. You know what I mean? Like at that time in my head, I'm like, I'm doing everything I can to be the best I can. No, I wasn't. You know, like you don't know what you don't know until you experience it.
Yeah, I think Jordan, like that's a phenomenal part of your story, man. Like, in my opinion, a lot of amateur and younger bodybuilders need to hear that coming from you, because we live in a generation now where everybody thinks they're supposed to fucking win every fucking show.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, bro, that shit don't work like that. Especially the higher you climb in bodybuilding, it gets harder to win.
Yeah, I don't know if you share
what I'm saying?
that often, Jordan, but you should share it a lot, man, because it is admirable.
Yeah, I'll have to share
it was nuts because me and Mike actually ran into a potential client, and the potential client was like, I want to compete in a show, win a regional show, then win the regional show, go to nationals, win my pro card, then win my pro card, and go to Olympia, all in the same fucking year. And I'm like,
okay, Derek. And Derek Lunsford.
No, it didn't happen like that. So,
one of one, man.
Doug and Trey are right, and I'll voice it too. Like, sharing that kind of a story right there is motivating as fuck to anybody.
Bro. You could write
that
a
wants
book.
to step into the ring and be like, if this is what you want to do, this is what it's going to take.
Yeah, maybe
think about how many people were on your path and they quit and you didn't.
Yeah,
true. That's true. Yeah.
I know you know a ton of.
I'm sure there's a lot of those people that
there were guys that were right there with you, and they just, for whatever reason, didn't hang on, and you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beauty in your story, bro. Like, that's phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like,
now you're going to the O.
Facts. The pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm done competing, like maybe I will write a book, publish a book.
Yeah, you got to.
You
have to.
Dude. And honestly, I mean, even if your bodybuilding ends this year, after the O, you can say you went there, man. You know how many people say that at your level, dude? There's not a lot.
Try for years and years, and it never happened.
Exactly.
That's a fact, man. Seth, when I went to Toronto, Seth pulled me in his office, and he said, "You know how many people go their whole pro career and never win a pro show?" I never thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Never thought about it like that. He's like, dude, he said, what you did, a lot of bodybuilders never done and will never do.
Never.
Don't take it for granted. That was why I was able to enjoy the Olympia, because Seth wouldn't let me not enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, embrace everything and enjoy it. Because
Seth Feroce or?
Yeah, Seth Feroce.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he was like, that's something let's be honest, I may not ever experience again. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed it when I did. Lots of pictures. My entire family came, friends, everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding.
It is,
There is no bigger show than that.
And Doug, you and Jordan got it. Me and Brendan and Michael may never get it.
100%. 100%.
I never even get my card.
100% the truth.
Photo shoot for the morning after the show, because I'm trying to get as many pictures as I can.
Yeah. Man, take lots and lots and pictures, videos, everything, man. I got to meet C-Bum. I got to see him backstage. Let me tell you something, man. Pictures and videos do no justice to that man's conditioning, bro.
Yeah, he's incredible.
I mean, when you see it in person, in my mind, I'm like, how is he functioning? Because I know to get peeled like that, bro, oh my God. Insane.
It's funny you say about like pictures and videos as much as possible, because like that's something I've never been good at. Like I just don't like taking pictures in general.
Me too.
Unless you got your fitting, bro.
I do. Unless fishing, then I'm taking all the pictures and everything.
You ain't missing a fish, bro.
And dancing.
I feel like, like, especially like as I look back on like Universe, I'm like, because it goes by so fast. Like we said, I wish I had more pictures of like people that were there, just moments in general. And like, I mean, Brendan, we didn't even get a picture together. You know what I mean? And like, we spoke to each other weekly through this whole prep and kept each other going. It's like, damn, we didn't even like, yeah, we can get a picture together later. Yeah, it's like we can get a picture together later, but it's like that moment.
That moment.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I try and be more cognizant of that. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to live through my phone and like be taking videos and pictures.
Right.
But at the same time, you do. It is
want
a
those
way.
Memories.
It is a way to capture those memories. To some
I'm bad
degree.
about that too. Like when it gets to show day, because I'm so focused and I'm tired and all these other things, and I'm just not worried about pictures, but I should be. You know.
Yeah. It's like Jordan. You can say this year you're one of the best bodybuilders in the world. Buck, Texas.
Yeah.
The world. You know what I'm saying? Most people can't fathom that. You know what I'm saying?
And definitely have like a possibility of a top call out at the O.
Facts.
Yeah, if I get the first call out, man, woo.
You won the right. Look, in my opinion, you won the right show, right? I feel like people who win the Tampa, Texas, New York, them 3 shows, in my opinion, you're definitely making top 10, top 5. I mean, that just seems like that's how, like, that's the tier 1 show.
Yep, 100%. I mean,
at the beginning of the year, in the start of prep, I was like, man, I want a chance to stand next to Sean and Keon. I'm not on their level yet, but if I can get a chance to stand next to them, and now I'm gonna get my chance.
You got your shot. You
fucking
fucking right. You're gonna get your shot. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think if you can look back the previous winners of the Tampa, they make top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you got all the tools, man.
All the tools. We're gonna bring an even better package in 8 weeks.
Without question.
Since you turned pro, are you friends with a lot of the pro guys, and are they more 212 guys, or do you have some open friends? And also, I want to know, who is your favorite open guys right now?
Man, I don't really watch anybody training, to be honest. I watch a lot of the older stuff. It's that way with the NBA as well. I would say my favorite open guy is probably James Hollingshead.
Oh yeah,
I like Hollingshead.
I like James and Martin. I like Martin a lot.
Okay,
man, yeah.
I was just with Martin yesterday. He's up there in Colorado.
First Olympia. And he took first and second this year as well. Same with me.
I'm pissed, man. Cause see, if I had won the Atlanta, the top 3 at the 2020 North Americans would all be Olympians this year. I was pissed. That was my goal.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That was my goal. That would have been cool. But Carrot and fucking Bo showed up. Carrot and fucking Bo showed up. Look, and it was funny when he lost in New York. I said, "Fuck! I know he's gonna do the Atlanta." Like I already knew it was either gonna be that or the Tampa. But he already won the Tampa, so I didn't see him wanting to do the Tampa again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought he had a good chance of winning the whole show, but Oli, he tore his quad.
Yeah. What happened? So is that what I thought? So he tore his quad?
Yeah, doing a Smith machine squat. He tried to rack it and he missed the rack.
So because I seen he hurt both of his legs.
It was both. I didn't know it was both. Okay.
Well, I think the one was his ankle, and then I guess the other one must have been his thigh.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
Yeah, he looked good. He
looked incredible in New York. Oh my God.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
So Jordan, who's your favorite 212 guy?
You better say yourself.
Besides yourself.
I'd have to go with Sean. How he's like a mini Ronnie Coleman.
Gotcha.
I love Sean.
Are y'all friends, or do you talk to him at all?
He likes my posts a lot. Every once in a while, he'll comment on it.
Gotcha.
And sometimes me and Keon will send messages back and forth.
Yeah, Keon and Sean, them is my guys.
It's not like a daily thing though.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, so kind of to piggyback off of some of these ideas, I got a couple questions here from people. I don't know. We kind of talked about this, but not really. And we'll just go around the horn with this. What makes a pro What makes a pro bodybuilder a pro besides obtaining the card?
That's a good question.
I can't speak because I'm not a pro.
I would say
So
my coach always told me, when you're a pro, you always act like a pro, and that just reminds me of somebody like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Like when, you're being a pro is more than just a title. It's how you live your life. You know what I'm saying? Now, I enjoy myself, but at the same time, I take what I do serious. I don't know how to half step anything. If I worked at McDonald's, you would know when I'm working at McDonald's, your burgers would be perfect all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just taking pride in everything that you do when you're a pro, especially in bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is 24/7, 365. So in regards to that, I think it's just how you carry yourself. But I also pride myself in being an olive branch for other people, whether you're a pro or you're an amateur. You know what I'm saying? I want to help other people. I want to encourage other people. And I also want to be realistic with them. You know what I'm saying? To get them to understand that we made it look easy, but this is not easy. It's probably going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done in your life. But it'll be one of the most fulfilling things that you've ever done in your life as well.
What about you, Jordan?
Just how you carry yourself and staying consistent, staying on the plan.
Yeah, I think most
the training and the diet and
I'm sure y'all will agree, but I feel like most pros are doing the same thing as us amateurs, but now they're just doing it at a pro level. Obviously, if it's not like, just messing around like Michael was saying a while ago where he wasn't eating his plan or whatever. I know with me, I'm eating all my meals every day, doing all my cardio, doing all my training. Everything's perfect. So I feel like there's nothing's going to change, even if I do turn pro. Or when I turn
it doesn't.
Pro, there's nothing.
It's the same, yeah.
Yep, it's the same thing. That's a fact.
What about you, Mike?
Well, I'm barely a pro, right? Like I haven't competed yet, but in my mind, it's like we obviously we know the consistency, we know nailing your variables, but like it's being just as excited for the mundane part as it is with the exciting parts, right? Like you're okay with eating some plain ass chicken and rice in the off season, like because you understand that this is for the end goal, right? Where I think a lot of amateurs
for results.
Yeah, where a lot of amateurs
for results.
These pieces are they have to do, right? Like I have to do it. Whereas when you're a pro, you do it because this is what I love and what needs to be done. Yeah. And I think that's driven most pros, right? I mean, some people just get their pro card, but I think most pros get there, and once they're there, it's because of a true love for this. Yes. So I think a lot of amateurs, it's more of a want than a love. When you're doing something out of like a love or a passion for it, it's a lot easier to do this shit out of passion than it is just because it looks cool.
I don't know how people bodybuild and don't love this shit. If I didn't like doing this, ain't no fucking way.
The stage is a bonus. Way. The stage is a bonus. I feel like if you're not in love with training and love being in the gym and being under the weight, then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, 100%. Like
I think like Jordan said, I like training more than anything.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you fall, I feel like if you fall out of love with training, then you shouldn't be competing.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jordan, what's a hobby, or what are your hobbies outside of bodybuilding? Do you have any, or is it just bodybuilding?
Yeah, bodybuilding and family time. Really, that's my life. Yeah, I love watching movies.
Have you seen what currently have you seen that you really liked?
I wouldn't say I really liked it, but I saw the new Bad Boys. It was okay.
We talked about that one before. I still haven't seen the new Bad Boys.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It was good. I'm always curious about how sequels and third movies are going to be, because it's always hard to be better than the first one. But I like the storyline in this last one, and I thought it was good.
Good, interesting.
I'm a huge Halloween guy. Halloween's my favorite holiday.
Oh,
Jordan, did you play sports in high school?
Yeah. In the fall, I ran cross country. Cross country, basketball, and track. Yeah, okay. I was a little guy.
Did you watch the Olympics?
Yeah, I watched the Olympics, man. That 100-meter was incredible.
Dude, the whole track and field was crazy, man.
I love track and field. Love it.
Track and field has my heart.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Olympics for just a second, because I want to get people's opinions. I'm USA all the way, always, but boy, do I have a hard time with Noah Lyles, man. He makes it hard for me to like him.
Come on.
He makes it hard for me to like him. And I'm okay with confidence. Like, I love confidence.
I like him.
But
me and Michael already talked about this.
He's just, I don't know, man.
I remember when the 4x1 was it 2012? It was USA and Jamaica. Like, Jamaica had Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell, and Blake Yukon.
Yeah. Johan Blake.
Oh my gosh. Johan Blake, Asafa Powell. Oh my, you can't beat that, man.
Yeah,
you can't beat that.
You know, we had Justin Gatlin and Tyson Gay, but Jamaica was just on another level.
I was a Usain fan all of them. Like, dude, like you would watch the Olympics just for him. Kind of like if you did watch it for Michael Phelps. Like
Michael Phelps, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's crazy that Bolt's record is just still what it is. Like, I don't know. I don't see that being touched anytime soon.
I don't either.
As good as sprinters are. I really dialed into the Olympics this year. I didn't think I was going to, but it just took one day of like kind of paying attention.
Get over the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Like that crap done. Now we can watch some good stuff.
There we go. I'm back.
Now we can really watch it. I had a little bodybuilding X and O's, I guess. What kind of split are you guys doing right now? As far as like a workout split, push-pull legs, pro split.
That's
one body part a week.
Yep.
The old fashioned.
And you train 5 days a week, 4 days a week?
I take Wednesday and Saturday off.
Wednesday, Saturday.
I don't like to train more than 3 days in a row.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Yeah, I do a 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off.
That's when I first started bodybuilding. I lifted Monday through Saturday, and I could do it back then. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. This is my 3rd day, but I'm just doing arms, and it's legit like 2 sets of 4 exercises. So I'm literally going in there, getting a little
in and out.
I'm out. Like it won't take me 45 minutes for this workout.
Right. Dorian 40-minute workout.
Yeah.
I do find it funny as like I get older that I still love my time in the gym. I look forward to it every day. But I also love the efficiency of my workouts versus when I was like 23. I would be happy to be in there 3-4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I would have
some new clients. Yeah, you have some new clients and they're like in their early 20s, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I did a 3.5 hour. Like I did your leg workout, and it took 3.5 hours." I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Jordan, do a lot of people bother you at the gym? Like, I don't know. I know we tell like when I hopped in here, y'all were talking about Metroflex.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine Flex being.
Yeah, I figured not like that, but before
it's kind of sad. I was saying, like, I wish more pro bodybuilders went there, but it's kind of sad. Like, it's always empty. It's nice that it's empty.
Yeah.
But, it gets, like every gym, usually around 6 p.m. gets busy, but busy for them is like 12 people.
What about the other gyms? Like, have you visited any of the other ones around?
I went to AR one time, and I got lucky because Hadi Chupin and Chris Bumstead were training at the same time.
They just killed everybody. Just went over and talked to them.
No, they didn't actually.
Oh,
but they were staring at them the entire time.
Gotcha.
Hani won't let nobody bother.
But
anybody when he's training.
Now, now Hani has his own private gym. So when Hadi comes over here for the Olympia, he's going to be training at the private gym here in Dallas.
It's in okay.
Yeah,
man, I bet that'd
be
Hani
Rambod lives here.
He just opened that up recently, right? Like what?
Yeah,
6 months ago?
Maybe about a year.
So I know he's got all those Panada pieces and all that. What do you feel about those? Do you like that new equipment, or do you just like the standard, free weights?
I like the old Cybex and the old chain-driven Notulus.
yeah, gotcha.
All right, can't beat Cybex, man. Cybex is good with every piece of equipment,
especially leg equipment.
Yeah, Icarian, Precor, those are good too.
Man, I feel
Body Masters, they make some good ones.
My gym is so under-equipped compared to everywhere else.
I don't know, man. Mine's pretty Alabama doesn't have amazing. We just got a new gym that opened up. They have some Arsenal pieces, but we have the old Cybex stuff too. We have that crazy old Cybex hack squat that's amazing. So I mean, we've got some good pieces, but we got some. There's not a lot. My bag sucks, so I wish we had more bag pieces that we did, but we really don't.
Yeah, I'm fortunate with Powerhouse in Pittsburgh. Yeah, we got a nice powerhouse. We just got some new equipment. They've been putting in a lot of new equipment, so I'm fortunate. But the best gyms I've been to in Texas and in Canada.
Yeah.
Wow. You say Texas and Canada?
Yeah, Pure Muscle and Fitness in Canada is like four gyms in one.
I mean, it's good. Me being able to train where I train. The 212 Pro owns it. Eric Langos, he owns Reality, and he handpicked everything. He's got a Paramount. He's got the Paramount pendulum squat. He's got the Cybex leg press. He's got a lot of old school pieces. So I mean,
Cybex leg press is really good.
Yeah, he handpicked everything that he has in there. So that's the beauty part. He built it for a bodybuilder powerlifting gym. So it's not commercialized by any means.
I've never tried any Arsenal strength, but I'm kind of excited to go to. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy because I'm couple days out from the Olympia, but to go to Dragon's Lair and just kind of see how the Arsenal strength equipment is.
I did the amateur last year and did the Arsenal pieces, man. And that gym's nice. It was weird because Andrew Jack was in there. Dude, I had never seen him in person. And I walk over there, and me and my wife were together, and I'm like, man, is that Andrew? And of course, she doesn't know. She's like, I don't know. He is huge. And so I walk up to my coach at the time, and I'm like, hey, that guy's not here for the show, is he? And I was like, he's like, no, I think he's here for the show. I'm like, dude, I should just go home. Dude, unreal. But he was super nice guy, man. I went up and just asked him, I just talked to him, he introduced himself, and I think his trainer was with him, and they were super nice. Every time he saw me, man, he complimented me. And then it was kind of cool, too, because, nobody really got to see Flex there, because I guess Flex was just trying to stay low-key, with the amateur O and the O going on, but he was at the back door that I was training right there, and he saw me, and I actually did the Flex Lewis Classic in 2018, I think, and I showed him a picture, and he was blown away at all the progress I had made, and it was pretty cool. So, but that's it. But the Dragon's Lair is
he's a cartoon character, Andrew Jack.
Oh my god!
I'd like to check out Haditati's gym too, the Powerhouse.
Yeah. I have never been there because it was about 30 or 40 minutes away, and I just didn't feel. I didn't just feel like driving. I think it was 30, and I just didn't feel like driving there. And our hotel was or wherever we stayed, it was right beside Dragon's Lair, not even 5 minutes. So we just went there.
What's the old? Is it Lift Factory? The one that's been there a long time. That one looks
or the good. LVAC, Las Vegas Athletic.
Yeah, there's LVAC, but Lift Factory. I know Dana and Bailey used to go there all the time.
I don't know.
Jay Cutler, he's went there a lot in his podcast. I think it's called Lift Factory. It's white and black.
I went to an LVAC there back. I can't remember. It was 2018.
Those are more like Lifetime Fitness.
There's one that's got a leg room, dude. It's pretty. It's like a 1 story. All the others are 2 stories, but there's one I can't remember which one because there's 5 or 6 of them, and it's a old school kind of gym. I went there and I saw Jay at it, dude, and Jay came up and talked to me, and we talked for 30 minutes. It was coolest thing ever. It was pretty dope.
Awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, I got a couple more questions for you. These are not super bodybuilding, but since you moved to Texas, have you partaken in Texas barbecue?
Oh, it's amazing. Oh my gosh.
That was on my mind too, Michael. I was gonna
Yeah, I went to this barbecue place called Roscoe's, and their pulled pork sandwiches. Oh, it's to die for, man. I could eat like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
The beef brisket. Oh man, smokehouse burgers. There's so many burger joints around here. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's
so when I went down there,
Texas and Oklahoma, like that's what they're known for, man. Barbecue.
Yeah. So barbecue is my favorite food of all time. If for people that don't know, before I moved to Maine, I was originally from Memphis, Tennessee. So it's got to be in my blood or something like that. But when I went to Texas, we went to Terry Black's. I forget which one specifically, but I remember it just being, especially the brisket was so good.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, you're paying $140 a plate, but it's worth it.
It's so good. Yeah. Wow.
Trey, you must have pretty good barbecue down in Bama too.
Decent. I mean, honestly, not as good as you'd think for real. Not where I live. I'm pretty like we live in a very, very small town, so it's not crazy here. But there are some like local places that aren't too bad.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't tell you that was our theme yesterday. We had literally like Texas barbecue food.
Y'all had barbecue at the birthday?
Yeah, dude. Pulled pork, pulled chicken,
mac and cheese.
Dude, jalapeno cornbread.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Oh yeah.
Jordan, are you going to be around during nationals down there in Dallas area?
Oh, for sure, because it's at the Irving Convention Center. It's a half hour from my house.
Yep.
I'll definitely be there.
I will be down there because Shay's doing nationals there.
Oh, that's dope.
I'd love to get a training session in if possible.
I'm probably coming too.
That'd be fun, man.
If I can link up with y'all down there, I'll see y'all down there. Yeah, because I want to take my wife down to Dallas. Because, like I said, that's a place I'm looking at moving to. I already got a good friend that lives down there.
I feel like everybody.
So I want to take my wife down there so she can check it out. You know what I mean? And scope out the scene. And
Doug, you're gonna be down there around nationals?
Yes. My birthday is both of our birthdays is in December. So
we'll all have to link up for sure.
Awesome
question. Back to basketball. You're making an all-time starting 5 of your favorite players, not who you think is going to win, but an all-time starting 5 from your favorite positions.
Okay.
Who are you starting?
You want me to answer first?
Yeah.
Okay. My point guard is Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Shooting guard Michael Jordan. Power forward is going to be Dennis Rodman, my favorite defensive player of all time.
Okay.
Center, man, it's between Shaq and Hakeem.
Shaq.
I might have to go with Shaq.
Can't go wrong with either or, though. I feel you on that because Hakeem was definitely
yeah. My small forward, man, that's a tough one.
The fundamentalist, Tim Duncan.
No. Dennis is my power.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a huge LeBron fan, so I'm gonna have to pick Larry Bird, small forward.
Okay.
I wouldn't even disagree with that starting 5.
No, I wouldn't.
That's Diesel. That's Diesel.
Yeah, it's a really good starting 5.
A lot of people power forward, they're probably gonna pick Karl Malone or Barkley or Duncan or Garnett, but man, I just love the energy that Dennis brought to the game.
I feel like Dennis Rodman was so especially like the way they play now. I feel like like you can look at it now and be like Dennis Rodman was an absolute freaking menace when he was on.
I mean, there's not
absolutely,
There's no one ever. I feel like there's no one ever better defensively than that guy.
There's not anybody.
Give his body. He take charges all day, dive for the ball.
This is my opinion, and everybody says Pippen, but I personally believe if the Bulls did not have Dennis Rodman them last 2 years, they don't win them championships.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
Utah was a good team.
Yeah.
And Dennis Rodman just knows how to get under people's skin. He would have 0 points, 20 rebounds.
Yeah, he got in Sean Kemp's head during those finals.
Yes.
That's a good starting 5. I like that 5. Now is that's a personal favorite 5?
Yeah, that's a personal
Yeah.
favorite, I would say. I mean, I would actually probably. I mean, I'd probably like Ben Wallace better than Shaquille O'Neal, so I might put Ben Wallace at center.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
so
favorite.
yeah,
Versus
if we're going favorite, Ben Wallace is getting the center starting spot for me.
yeah,
I
dude,
think-
Dennis Rodman and Ben Wallace playing together. Oh man,
Yeah. Woo. We're gonna win some games and win some fights.
yeah. Right.
That's for damn sure.
Get Ron.
And then take Bird out and put Ron Artest at small
That's
forward.
what I was like.
There you go.
I was just thinking Ron Artest, dude.
Yeah,
He'll be friggin' jumping in the stands trying to fight people.
Crazy.
dude, I was watching that game. There was 32 seconds left, and they were down by 16. I was about to turn it off. And then that play had happened, and I saw Ben push Ron Artest, and I was like, "Well, hold on, let me watch this." So I almost went to bed and turned it off.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I was watching the Malice at the Palace game live too. Me and my dad were watching it together, and boy, was it just like it was just wild. Like it. If you were watching it live, the cameras didn't know where to pan. They had multiple cameras, just like boom, 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 boom. And I remember seeing out of one camera, Jermaine O'Neal just stroked that fan out, and I was like, "This is crazy."
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't turn the TV off.
Yeah.
How you throw an F-bomb at a fan and you get fined $50,000? I'm like, 20 years ago, they're throwing punches.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it was one of the craziest games ever.
Yeah.
If you guys watch the documentary about that, I think it's like a 30 for 30.
It's on Netflix, yeah.
yeah, well,
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Some pretty good insight. Didn't the fan and is it the fan and Jermaine or the fan and Artest that are like good now? They're like friends now. They squashed it all. I don't remember which it was. Maybe Jalen Rose. I don't remember. Everybody was.
Steven Jackson got his hands on some people too.
Yeah, Steven Jackson. Yeah, that team was scrappy.
yeah.
Both teams were scrappy. I mean,
Yeah.
it was bound to happen. You put that many like, I don't know, just type of aggressive dudes on a team, is bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going Ben Wallace, power forward. Probably gonna have to go Kevin Garnett.
Cool.
Small forward, I'm gonna go Paul Pierce. Shooting guard, Jordan. In point guard, I want to go Allen Iverson, but man, I was relating to Baron Davis so much. So I'm gonna go BD, Baron Davis.
All right.
That's my 5. We might not win a chip against other teams, but
I like
we're
it.
gonna be fun to watch. All right, man. Shit, what have we been on for? We've been on for about a little over an hour and a half, and honestly, that first 10 minutes messed up, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to retrieve that. I pressed record, and I looked up like 10 minutes in, and it said failed to record, so I had to press it.
I saw that like the middle of us going, and I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah,
I'll probably have to cut out here in a couple minutes.
I think we're probably just get cut out for the day, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to everybody, man.
Yeah.
Pleasure to have a conversation with you, Jordan. I look forward to the opportunity to meet you in person, and would love to train with you as well.
Same as well. I'm really looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
man.
Yeah, Jordan, I'll be out at, me and the wife will be out at the O, so we'll have to like grab a couple pictures with you, and we'll definitely be there with you, man.
Jordan, best of luck at the O, man. We're all rooting
much,
for
man.
you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
I hope you have continue a great off season and fucking make some noise at your national show next year.
That's the plan, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time, Jordan. I really appreciate it. It's a great convo.
Yep.
And good luck at the O, man.
Thank you so much.
You don't need it, but I give it anyway.
Yeah, we're
Thanks
all
for the
rooting
opportunity to being on the podcast.
Yes,
Thank
good
you.
luck at the O, man. You guys have a good day.
All right, man, fellas, I'll talk to you.
All right.
Have a
Yes,
great
sir.
day.